Hi everybody, I've been joined by James from the Drowned Earth. James, it's good to see you, mate. How have you been?
And you, I've been really well, really well. Super busy. Lots of stuff to talk about, lots of stuff been going on, lots of stuff in the pipeline. And we've got to come over soon. I keep on getting asked. People are always asking me when you're going to go over and do some more battle reports on Beasts of War.
Hey, you're always welcome. You're always welcome. It's just reach out to Sam, try and pin him down and say, look, this date, please.
Yep, that's it. We'll get it. We'll get it sorted. It's
Oh
been
yeah,
it's
yeah,
been a bit crazy over here, but that's good news, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, you guys have. Are you finished delivering your Kickstarter, or are you delivering at the moment, or what
Yep.
stage is that at?
No, so we delivered, it was in March, which was actually a month earlier than advertised,
Oh,
which I think
congratulations.
probably puts me in the top 10 percentile of. uh, but yeah, no, that's all done, and now we're in the process of getting the game into retail stores and things
Mm,
like that. You can already buy it on Element Games if you're based in the UK. We're
mm.
talking to some people in the US about US distribution, and if anybody's interested in buying it in their local game store, just give them a shout. Ask them if they either are stocking it or plan on stocking it. That's the best way to get it where you need it to be.
Fabulous, fabulous. And I mean,
And you can buy it direct on our website as well.
awesome. Well, we'll make sure we have a link to your website in the post below for you. Now, I will say, going to Element Games is a great call for you guys because they actually have a beautiful gaming venue over there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, in fact, we'll talk about that in a minute because we've just had our first ever organized play event, and that's where we had it. I mean, I'm based down in London,
Mhm.
but Manchester's slap bang in the middle of the country, so it's a really convenient location for everyone to get to.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. All right, well, so Kickstarter landed a month early. Fantastic. You're hitting retail very soon. Fantastic. What about the future of the game? Because now it's out there in the wild and it's going to start living and breathing on its own.
Yep. Well, I mean, I'm a huge fan of new model releases, not just for the cool toys, but for the new rules. So we've been working quite hard on two different things, but the first of those two things are a series of new models for each of the existing factions. So I think you guys have published some of the couple of the renders and some of the concept art for the uh, quarter 3 of 2018 releases. There'll be five releases
Hmm.
for the five new factions, effectively, and a new dino as well.
Yeah.
So that just gives people a little bit of more list building opportunity, and we're going to proceed with that. In the manner that you'd expect from a miniatures company. We're going to be developing lots of new miniatures, new rules, and new sort of tactics and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Now, you actually have sent me through a 3D render here that if you want, I can bring up. Ooh, who is this?
Yeah, so this is Le Casque. I think this is a world exclusive.
Hey.
You published the concept art a little while ago, but nobody's actually seen the render.
Uh-huh.
So his shtick is, as well as being a bit of an expert samurai sword dude, he's got a big cannon which fires blind grenades. And it's fairly long range and fairly accurate. So when you've got a sniper in a crow's nest somewhere, he's your man to sort of pop a flash grenade in that guy's direction,
Mm,
blind him while you run across the board and claim the objective that he was covering, that sort of thing.
I see. And if I remember correctly from the games that we've actually played, the actual gameplay is so fluid. Having someone that can actually lock down or open up an area of the board is absolutely critical to actually
Yeah,
achieving your objectives and actually winning the
absolutely.
game.
As reactions are such a thing, so it isn't an infinite reaction game, but you can move action points. Your leader can move action points around, and so if you get a sniper in a useful location and then just feed them action points, that can really lock the game down. So tools to try and prevent that from happening and to overcome that situation if you find yourself in it is really key.
Yeah. Now, I will say to everybody at home, if this is your first time meeting James and actually hearing about the Drowned Earth, we do have a fabulous Let's Play on the website. Make sure and go back and check it out because this is a really, really fun game to play. Now, speaking of playing the game, James, you say you've done an organized play event at Element Games. So how did that go?
Indeed. Yeah, well, that went really, really well. I was super, super happy with the feedback, and so I decided what I wanted to do with organized play was something a little bit different. Release a tournament pack every year with a whole bunch of custom scenarios, but effectively a narrative tournament. So, although the focus is on deciding, who was the best player that day, all of the games are linked by fluff. And then at the end of the tournament, in the last game, every player who won their last game gets to make a kind of narrative choice. So there's a thing called a winner's envelope. So you pop open the winner's envelope and you've got a little multiple choice, choose your own adventure style conclusion to the story. And what we're going to do with that is that at the end of the cycle, probably be a year, we'll see how it goes. At the end of the cycle, that will inform tournament event. So we'll have a beginning season and an end of season organized player, and then people will be able to play their own tournaments in the meantime using the tournament pack. But the decision that people make on the winner's envelope, we're going to record it, both what happens in the story, but it will also feed back into the rules. It'll feed back into model releases. So we really want to create this kind of evolving story and evolving kind of meta plot for the game, which the players are directly invested in and directly involved in steering.
Now, I'm having a look at some of the actual tables here. The density of the game is absolutely great, and I'm loving what you've done with all the different walkways and actual different ways to actually get to different areas on the board. It's very, very cool. And you're using one of my favorite modeling sort of terrain pieces, which is aquarium tank foliage.
Yeah, yeah. I keep every time I go on Amazon, they're constantly their algorithms think that I've opened a pet shop. I think, but yeah, they're just a fantastic way of creating a lot of colourful, jungle atmosphere. So they were an absolute must. But we were lucky that some of the players came along with their own terrain, so we had a wide variety of different boards. And I think you can see on most of them we've been talking to Deep Cut Studios, and they've made us a custom mat which is currently on pre-order, and we were lucky enough to get a handful of those so that we could actually use them for the event. So that was also really fun and exciting. And if you remember the way the game plays, there's a lot of dynamic movement and swimming and running up walls and jumping off things, and so that sort of terrain density is really a really fun aspect of the game. And there are so many different sort of out of the box solutions for that nowadays, from MDF terrain to people that are making sort of molded plastic terrain. And you can see we've made a wide variety of different boards.
Well, I mean, like I have to say, I absolutely love the creativity aspect that brings to your game. Is you can build a super dense table, but not have it feel like it's hard to play through, because all of the mechanics are built into the game to actually work through, doing like climbing, swimming, jumping off the heights to actually stab someone in the throat, which is always a good time in a can.
I think one of the comments that I've had from people who are first to the game is one of the fun but also mind-boggling aspects is how much you have to think in 3 dimensions.
Well, I mean, like, James, what else can we really say? The game is now out there in the wild. I hope it does well. I cannot wait to get you across for another Let's Play. And well done once again on getting your Kickstarter actually delivered a month early.
Thanks very much. I'm really looking forward to coming over and seeing you guys again.
All right. Well, James, I will not keep you any longer because I'm sure you have many, many things to do to actually keep the game running and rolling. Everybody, I tell you what, get your comments in below. Are you planning to jump in on the Drowned Earth? Are you going to be reaching out to your local friendly gaming store to actually see if they'll bring it in and stock it for you? Myself and James will move on here, and we will see you again very soon.